Good morning, everyone. We're doing another class of class 9 mathematics, which is chapter 6, and we've completed exercise 6a, and we'll be moving on to exercise 6b. And 6a was done by Mr. DP, and in 6a, what did you do is finding the values of x and y by the substitution method. So how did you eliminate, how did you find the value of x and y, and how did you solve x and y? By the substitution method. So what is substitution method? Either by putting the value of x, first finding the value of x, or first finding the value of y, and then putting or substituting those values in one of the equation given. Okay, so the second method that we're gonna do is okay, straight away I'm gonna write equating coefficients. We're gonna find the value of x and y by equating the coefficients. Now, what are coefficients? You've been doing this from the basic, isn't it? From class 7 itself, you know what coefficients means. So all the values which are related to the variables are called the coefficients of those variables. Okay, so how are we gonna do? As for you over here, we are doing exercise 6b, question number 1. I've written the question here on the paper. So 13 plus 2y is equal to 9x, and the second one is 3y is equal to 7x. Now, what would the general equation of this for this one would be? So for general equation for this one would be, how do you arrange it? a1x plus b1x is equals to c1. Okay, this is your general equation. So a1 is the coefficient of x, b1 is the coefficient of y, and c1 is your constant. For your equation 2, your general equation will be this one: a2x b2y is equals to c2. So a2 is the coefficient of your second equation, b2 is the coefficient of y of your second equation, and c2 is the constant here. So when we see this equation, the first equation here, it is not arranged properly. Okay, it is not in this form: a1x plus b1y plus equals to c1. So what you have to do is you have to bring this equation in this form: a1x plus b1y equals to c1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring x and y on the left hand side and the constant to the right hand side according to the equation. So what is your equation here? First 2y. Okay, let me arrange. 9x when it comes this side becomes minus 9x, because this is plus 9x. You know, when you change the position, the sign changes. Plus 2y remains as it is. Now you take 13 to the other hand side. So plus 13 when it goes to the other hand side becomes minus 13. So this is your one equation. Okay. Then for this one, you bring the variables to the left hand side and the constants to the right hand side. So minus 7x plus 3y is equal to, since there is no constant, okay, there is no constant, so what do you write it to be? 0. Now this is your equation 1, this is your equation 2. So I am arranging it. This is your equation 1 and this is your equation 2. Now make sure that the coefficient of x and the coefficient of x would be together, and the coefficient of y and y would be together, and the constants are put together. Okay, so that will be easy, and that will. Now, equating the coefficient. Now what is the coefficient of x in equation 1? It is minus 9. Okay, if there is a negative sign, you need to count it, because in general equation there is no negative sign. See, In general equation there is no negative sign. That's why if you have minus, you need to count minus. So we don't say the coefficient of x is 9. We have to say the coefficient of x is minus 9. What is the coefficient of y? 2. What is the constant term here? C1. What is your constant term here? Minus 13. Okay, what is your A2? That is your second coefficient of your second equation of x. It's minus 7. What is the coefficient of y? 3. And what is your C2? The constant term for second equation is 0. Now how do we equate the coefficient? So equating the coefficients means either we have to make this coefficient of x same or the coefficient of y same. Okay, you can choose anyone. You can choose the coefficient of x or you can choose the coefficient of y. But make sure that when you are choosing numbers, you choose similar numbers. Okay, so that you don't have to go through a large number, a multiplication of large numbers. Okay, so try to make it as simple as you can. So what I'm doing over here is I'll try to make the coefficient of y same. Okay, now what is the coefficient of y? In equation 1 it is 2, for equation 2 it is 3. So I need to find the LCM of 2 and 3. What is the LCM of 2 and 3? So the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. So what do I have to do is I have to change this 2 to 6 and this 3 to 6. Okay, so 2 changes to 6, 3 changes to 6. Now how do I change 2 to 6? Okay, either by addition or multiplication. So what do we do here? We multiply. So we multiply with 3. And in order to make 3 to 6, what do I have to do? I have to multiply it with 2. Okay. Now, when I say multiplying with 3, when equation 1 is multiplied with 3 means all the numbers which are here is multiplied with 3. And when I say equation 2 is multiplied with 2 means all the numbers in equation 2 are to be multiplied with 2. So 3 first multiplies with 9. And don't forget we have minus sign. So 27x. 3 into 2 is 6y. And 3 multiplies with 13 which gives us minus 39. Now similarly, what do we get here? 2 multiplies with 7 minus 14x plus 6y is equal to 2 into 0 is 0. Now, look at the coefficient of y. What is the coefficient of y here? 6. The coefficient of y is 6. They are same. Now we can eliminate them. Again, how do we eliminate it? By doing subtraction. What do? We do subtraction. Okay, so when we are doing subtraction, the signs of the second equation changes. Only the second equation, not the first equation. The first equation, that is minus 27x plus 6y, remains as it is. The sign does not change. The sign changes only for the second equation. So which one is your second equation? Minus 14x plus 6y equals to 0. Only the sign of those numbers will change. So minus becomes plus, plus becomes minus, and 0 you can just write a minus. It won't make a difference anyways. So now see here, when we are doing subtraction, we forget about the original sign. Now we see the sign which is changed. So this is minus, this is plus. So minus and plus, what do? Minus. So 27 minus 14 is your 13x. And we use the sign of the greater number. So which is your greater number? 27. So it is minus 13x and plus 6y minus 6y. Plus 6y and minus 6y. They can be cancelled because 0 equals to minus 39 plus or minus 0 will always be the same number. So we get, therefore, x would be equal to minus 39 divided by 13. And 13 how many times? 3 times. Minus and minus gets cancelled, which becomes positive. So we get the value of x as 3. Okay, the value of x is 3. Now we need to find the value of y as well. So you can put the value of y in either of this equation. The first equation or second equation Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm putting the value of x in second equation. So 3y is equal to 7. Instead of x, what do I write? 3. So 3y is equal to 21. So y is equal to 21 divided by 3. So 3 how many times? So what is the value of y? Y is 7 and the value of x is 3. Okay, this is how we're gonna solve the values for x and y by equating the coefficient. Okay, so we'll be doing one more sum in the next class. Please see this and try and do it yourself. Thank you.